So now we have learned getter injection, that is setter injection, by using in the case of basically in case of primitive type and collection type is done. Now we have to learn the setter injection with reference type. So again, I'll close this program and I'll create another package, create a class. I'll give a class name as, let's say, this time I'm going to create a class A here. Anything, you can create anything, and I'll give a package name as com.jsp.reference type. Reference type. And then click on finish. So I need to inject one object inside another object. So obviously we should have two beans here. So I'll create one more class. So I'll create one more class. So let's say the class type is, class name is B here. And remember, you have to create in the same package. And then I want the configuration file. So I'll copy paste the configuration file. And even I want main class, so I'll copy your app Java. So these things will do it out. So I'll open all the classes one by one and even configuration file. And here we have to learn the reference injection. Okay. Okay, fine. So fine, guys. Let us delete these things. Now we'll use a tag here bean. We'll use a tag here bean. We'll keep the things as it is. We'll delete this part of line. Next, we'll go to A class. So guys, in A class, what I want to do, I want to inject B object. In A, I want to inject B. So first, I'll define the property of A, guys. So I'll say private int x. Similarly, I'll say private. I want to inject the property of B in A class because A is dependent on B. So I'll say B. So B is going to act as a non-primitive reference. Similarly, what I'll do, I'll go to this B class and I'll define a variable that is private int y. Private int y. Now for both the classes, what I'm going to do, I'll generate a constructor, getters and setters. Okay, so first I need to select the field and then getters and setters will only one we have, so fine. Similarly for this class, let us generate a getters and setters. So go to source here and generate getters and setters. Guys, all of you see here, later you can execute one by one each and every program. No need to worry. So this is done. Now we have to configure it. Now guys, we have to configure it. So basically we have to create an object B first and we have to create object A. In A object, we have to inject B. Yes, in A object, we have to inject B. So what I'll do first, I'll create the object B. So if you want to create the object B, guys, what you have to do, you will make use of a tag property name equals to, and you will pass the fully qualified class name of B. You will pass the fully qualified class name of B here. Okay, fully qualified, guys, not the class name. Now, similarly, what I do, I'll set the property for this B. So I'll say property. I'll say property name. What is the property name of B class, guys? So it is Y. Property name is Y. So let me keep it up. So property name Y. I'll pass here property name Y. And if you want, you can go for value as attribute. So I'll pass the value for itself. I'll say value equals to 100. So we have created an object bean, and for bean we have set the property for a property. We have set the value for a property Y, that is 1000. Now similarly, what we have to do, guys? So we have to create one more bean. We have to create one more bean. Okay. After closing this bean tag, only we can do it, right? We can't go for nested bean here. So I'll take one more bean here. Bean, and so this bean, guys. So let us pass here bean class equals to, and I need to pass here fully qualified class name. So I'll copy this fully qualified class name. I'll copy this fully qualified class name and I'll paste here, and I'll say name equals to, let's say A class or something. Let's say A itself. A reference or anything is fine. Ref A. Now for this A bean, we have to set basically two property, guys. So first property we have is X. So we'll pass property name equals to X and we'll pass value X. We'll say value equals to 5000. And if you can see, guys, we have basically one more property here. In the sense, we have to inject the object of B in A. We have to inject the object of, yes. So what I can do, I take one more property tag. I take guys one more property, and the property is what property guys? So the property name is B itself. So I'll pass B here. Property name is B, so I'll pass B here. But in this B property guys, what we have to do? We have to inject object of B itself. So what we can do, we can't go for this guys. So we will not close property. We'll write like this, yeah. And in between, we will make use of a tag that is we can say ref b. We have a property guys, ref b. Ref b equals to, and we can pass the reference ref. Yes, we can do like this. I'll explain guys once again. So let's say we have two class. Let's say guys, we have two class here. The class we have first, okay, not this. We have a class guys, not object. So we have a class A, we have a class B. So for B class, we have a property Y. For A class, we have a property X. But since this A object is dependent on B, so we have to create the object of B and we have to inject it. We have to create the object of B and we have to inject it. So in this A class, we have to declare a non-primitive reference, that is B. So this B is going to hold the particular object reference, the particular B class object reference. So same thing guys, if you can see, we did the same thing here. So first we created object B and we assigned a name as reference B. For this we have created a property, we have set the value for Y. Similarly, we have created an object, we have created a bean basically A, and reference is ref A. Now we have set the value for X by saying property name equals to X, value equals to 5000. Next, but we have to inject the object inside A. So that's why we have used property name equals to B. We have used here property name equals to B guys, and we can inject one object inside another object by using a tag that is reference. We can say reference and we have to inject a bean, so we will say reference bean. So now one object of B has been created and it is pointed by reference B variable. So what we will say, reference bean equals to ref B. What is ref B guys? It is a reference of class B. It is reference of class B, and then we close the property, we close the bean. Yes, so guys, is it clear? Any difficulty, any doubt up to here, whatever we discussed? Yes. Okay guys, so next what we have to do, we have to get the bean here. We have to get the bean in the main class. So already we have container is ready, we have implemented the implementation classes there. So we will say context dot get bean. We will say context dot get bean. If you want, you can pass a two argument. If you are not, if you don't want to perform upcasting, so let us pass two argument guys. So I'll say a dot class. So here I need to pass the reference of the bean which is present in your configuration. So ref A is nothing but reference. So I'll pass here and then I'll store in an object, store in a reference A itself. Yes, next I'll print the value. So I'll say sysout. I'll say sysout here. Similarly, if you want to print, if you want to get B also, anyhow it has been injected in A, but if you want to print, same thing you can do guys, same thing you can do. So you can change it to B, and here you can pass B as, and let's say ref B or only guys, and here I'll change it to B dot class, and here I'll change it to B. So first you can see guys, one object of B will be created, value will be set, and then that B object will be injected inside A object. Guys, we have to change this configuration file name or path. Let us execute and we'll see we are getting the output or not. We are getting the expected output or not. Now we are getting fully qualified class name, so just override to a string, not a big deal. Where's that? Right, let us execute this again. Yes, you can see guys, we have one object B, we have one more object A. Inside that A, you can see one object B has been injected. Inside this object A, one object B has been injected. So like this, you can perform the reference type injection or object. You can inject one object inside another object. So now guys, we'll go for next topic, that is constructor injection. Yeah, to run constructor injection, we will create one more package and we'll proceed with the program. And in XML itself, I'll tell what tag and all you have to use. So let us close all and we'll create a package. So better let us create a class name. You can give anything, or let's say I'm going to give the class name as EMP. So let us create a package com.jsp constructor injection com.jsp.constructor injection, then finish. Now we want main class, so I'll copy from your old project only. So let's say app.java, I'll copy. Similarly, I want configuration file, so I'll copy configuration file as well. I'll open these three things now. So these things I'll remove it. So we have beans. Even from this particular class, we'll remove these things. Even first we will configure our XML, pass your XML file, so that at the time of execution we should not face any problem. Should not face problem, right? So we'll change now itself. We'll say constructor injection. Spelling is correct, I hope. Constructor injection. And even I'll change the configuration file. So right click, go to rename and change it to config4. And then click on OK. Here as well, I'll say config. And yes, our work is done. Let us open config file as well. And yes, we can proceed now. We are ready for the constructor injection. So this time I won't declare getters or setters. I'll go for a declare constructor. Why? So we'll say private string email. Similarly, I'll say private int employee ID. Similarly, I'll say private, next let's say private double sal. Let's say esal. And yes, we have declared all the property. Next, let us create a constructor. So go to source and generate constructor using fields and click on OK. And I don't want super calling statement. I'll just remove it. Yeah, and yes, our work is done. Now we will go to configuration file. So since we have to declare a bean, so we will make use of bean tag. And in between this bean, I'll say, even guys, for this employee generate to a string method now itself. Generate to a string method as well. Yes, our work is done. Next, let us go for configuration file. So in configuration file, we'll say bean class equals to same thing guys as it is. We'll pass the fully qualified class name. Will pass, and then we will say here name equals to employee1. So that is your bean name now. So guys, if you are going to use offset injection, so what you will do, you will declare a tag property, right? You will declare a tag property. But currently I'm going to use which injection, guys? Currently I'm using constructor injection. So what can be property? Any guess? So here we have to declare a property, that is constructor args, constructor argument. So we'll say constructor args, and I will go for, you can go for like value as tag, but I'll go for value as property. Let's say value as, yes. So we'll pass your value equals to, and we'll pass the value for the first argument. Yes. So for this constructor, guys, we will make use of, fine, let me go step by step, guys, otherwise you will be confused. So I'll declare a tag, that is constructor arg. Now we have to set the value, so I'll make use of a tag value tag, and here we will pass the first argument. Similarly, we have three different things, guys. So we'll declare the three different constructor arg. Let us declare one by one. Yes, now we have declared three different constructor arg tag. Now for each property we have to set the value. For each property we have to set the value. So what we can do, guys, we can say here constructor arg, inside that we'll make use of value and we'll pass the name. Yes, we pass the, like for constructor we'll pass the values. So what is the first argument, guys? That is, what is the first property? Ename. So first we'll pass here name. So let's say the name is dingadingy. The name is dingadingy. And let's say next we have to pass what, guys? Next we have to pass ID and then salary. So we'll pass here ID. So we'll say ID as 420. And then we'll pass here salary. Let's say salary is 5,000. Salary is 5,000. Fine. So these things are done. We have created a constructor. We have set the value. Or we have set the property by using constructor. Yes. So now next what we have to do, we'll go to main class and we'll perform. So we'll say the class name is emp a equals to, I'll say to context, please get my bean. So context dot get beans, and I'm going to make use of two argument ones. So I'll pass a bean name and I'll pass a class name. So the class name is emp itself, so emp dot class, and here I need to pass bean name, so emp1, and then let me print it. So this out. Now let's say employee, so I'll use e guys better, and program 10. Let us compile the code. These things are very easy guys, so I'm going little fast, just you have to change the tag. So let us execute now. Yes, you can see. Now we have used constructor injection. Just we have used constructor injection. So guys, clear? Did you face any difficulty in this program in constructor injection? Just you have to change the tag. That's it. Okay, so I'll put in a single line so that delete it. We can delete it easily. So as we will proceed, you will feel Spring is very easy, guys. But you have to practice. That's it. So I'll comment this part. Using value tag. I'll say again using value tag. Good. So similarly, we can do by using value. Yes, similarly we can use by value, let's say parameter. So we have used now value tag. Similarly, we can use by value parameter. Now guys, in case of setter injection, you can do by using p schema. You can do by using p schema. But for constructor, we have to go for c schema. But for constructor guys, we have to go for c schema for the setters. So setter injection is also known as property injection. So in case of setter, you can go for p schema. But in case of constructor, we have to use c schema. So nothing else, nothing much you have to do, guys. So see the configuration file. So in case of setter injection, you will go for p schema, and you will use this particular file. You'll pass here particular schema name, or let's say you will pass here something DGT file. Now, but in case of constructor, we have to go for C schema. So nothing great. You will copy, paste, and instead of P, you will pass here C. For C schema, guys, we have to say C. That's it. And if you want, you can remove this part of line. You can remove this, but it's okay. Keep it as it is. So now we have to configure, or we have to pass the value for constructor by using C schema. So nothing great, guys. What you will do again? Again, you will pass here bean class equals to, and you will pass this complete thing. You'll pass this complete thing here. But currently we are not going to. Currently we will use C schema, guys. So here itself we have to pass the value. Here itself we have to pass the value. So what we can say, guys, we can say here C colon. Yes, we can pass here C colon and property name, and we can pass the value same as of your constructor. So guys, what we will say here, what are the property, whatever property we have after this B name, we will say C colon. C colon. So what is the first property, guys? So first property is E name. So we will say C colon E name. C colon E name, and we'll pass the value here. So the name, let's say name is Sundar S. Let's say Sundar S is the name. Next, we have to pass the salary as well. So C colon E salary equals to the salary is, let's say 50,000. It's 50,000. Next, we have to pass. Okay, so name is done, salary is done. Next, ID. So C colon E ID, I guess. Yeah, E ID. I want to this E ID. Yeah. So ID equals to, let's say ID is okay. So ID is what type, guys? Salary is double type. ID is integer type. Fine. So let us say 50,500. And ID is what type here? So ID is, so I'll pass ID as again, oh God, 420. ID again, I'll pass here 420. Yes, and this work and our work is done. You can see if you are going to make use of C, okay, and here you can make use of self-closing tag. If you are going to make use of C schema or P schema, guys, you can see the length of code will be reduced. But hold on, we are getting an error. So let me comment this part. I didn't comment this. Yeah. So for B to close the bean tag, guys, I'm using self-closing tag. I'm using self-closing tag. That's it. If you can see, if you are going for value tag, you have to write these many codes. But if you are going for C schema or P schema, it will be done in single line. So in most of the case, we will go for either C schema or P schema in upcoming class. That's it. Our work is done. So now we can execute and we will get the same output, guys. No changes, but currently we have configured using C schema. Yes, you can see we got the same. So guys, in constructor injection, nothing is there. Just we have to see reference type or ambiguity or diamond problem we have to solve. So now we have to inject one object inside another object. One object inside another object by using constructor injection. Nothing great, guys. So what we will do, we will delete these things. We'll delete these things. We will create one more class. We will create, guys, one more class. Okay, this has been removed. So employee. So let's say for employee, what I can say, let's say I want to inject department object inside employee object. So I'll say private department. Private department, DEPT. Okay, DEPT, that's it. Private department, and I'll define a reference. But hold on, this department is a non-primitive type. So now what we have to do, we have to create a class. So just mouse over and you can see you will get option create class department. So click on finish. And then for this department also take some property, guys. Let's say private string department name. Department name, if you want, you can take one more property or that's it. Only one property, otherwise program will become lengthy, guys. Yeah, that's it. Then right click, go to source and generate constructor for this particular class. Yes, so we have generated a constructor. Similarly, override to a string method. Okay, so go to source here, to a string method. Okay. Now let us go back to employee class and generate constructor and to a string. So first, yeah, generate to a string, no problem. And then generate constructor here. That. So you can see in this employee class, we are injecting a class that is department, or you can say in employee object, we are injecting an object department here. We are injecting an object department. So fine, let us proceed now. So nothing great, guys. Again, we'll go for a configuration class. So yeah, for this, guys, to understand better, I'll make use of value tag itself. Once you're comfortable, you can go for C schema or P schema based on your requirement, based on your choice. So I'll comment this thing. Yeah, now I'll comment this thing and I'm going to use, fine, I'll use a tag here. Keep the things as it is. So I'll use a tag here. So I'll say bean tag. So bean, and here we'll pass class equals to. So first I'll pass department. So copy the fully qualified class name and pass it. And let's say name of the bean, name equals to department 1. Pass in double quotes. Name equals to department 1. Now inside the bean, if you want, you can go for C schema to set the value. So guys, for constructor, what we have, okay, so close the tag itself. Now for C schema, for the department class, we have only one property, that is department name. So you can write here, yeah, come back to this configuration class and write C colon department name equals to salesman or something. You can keep sales. That is not job, let's say sales, or you give whatever you want based on your requirement. So yes, we have set it the value for this department. Similarly, we have to create one more bean here, and we have to say bean class equals to, bean class equals to, we'll pass fully qualified class name. We'll pass a fully qualified class name, and let's say name equals to, let's say better, guys, we are going to inject the reference. So I'll say reference department. I'll say reference department. Here as well, let's say reference employee. Reference employee. Follow the camel case. So capital D, capital T. Now set the value for these things. So we have to go for constructor args and we will pass the value. So guys, for this employee constructor, you can see we have three property. We have three property and one is the reference. So we'll set the value one by one. So better will pass value equals to, we'll pass the value here. Similarly, we have two more things. So 2, 3, and one more to pass the reference. So guys, you can see first is what? First is name, ID, salary. First is name. So let's say the name is Mr. Uday. Now let's say the next argument is EID. So let us pass the EID, guys. So let's say TYP 1005. 1005. The TYP. And let's say the salary. We have to pass the salary here. So salary is, let's say 50,000. Let us assume salary here 50,000. And let's say the department name I'll give as a trainer department or something, trainer. Something like that, guys. You can pass better. Now this is done. Now what we have to do, guys, we have to inject the reference. Now we have to inject department object inside employee. So guys, what we will do here, can you tell me now? Can I pass here like this? Can I do? Will it work? We are not going to inject the value. We have to inject the reference. So what we can do, guys? So what I do, guys, I'll just make use of constructor args and I'll make use of value tag better instead of that. So can I write value ref equals to, okay, or let's say can I pass here ref value? Can I pass like this? Let us try, guys. If you are getting here, we'll try to solve it. Not a big deal. Okay, so no need to pass value. Directly we can pass reference, I guess. Yeah, fine. Let us see, guys. So I'll pass here ref department. Ref department. So since we are using, we can make use of self-closing tag. So will be better. And then we have closed the B and so many things. Yes, this configuration is done. Now let us see whether it is going to work or not. So already we had employee class. So we will create one more class by name department. So we'll say department D equals to, we will say to context. Please return me the bean of department class. So context get beans and we'll pass here two argument again. So here we'll pass department dot class. We'll close the braces. Okay, one more is. And next we have to pass the reference. So it is the department. Yeah, ref. Let us pass this. Okay. Let us like this only. We'll pass here. Even we have to pass the new reference of employee. So we'll say REF EMP. I guess the same we are using here. REF EMP. Yes. Now my work is done. So if you want, just print the reference D as well. D as well. Let's keep it up so that it will look good. That's it. Our work is done. I hope. Let us execute and we'll see whether we are getting an error or output. The number format exception. Where guys? So let us see employee. So employee is what? Employee number should be integer, but what we are passing, guys, we are passing integer as well as this thing. So let's say 1005. Let's go back. Execute. Yes, you can see. So what we have to do, guys, which tag we have to use here? Just we have to say constructor reference. We have to make use of reference and we have to inject like this. Yes. So you can see here, guys, you can see the console. Then first one object of department has been created and one property dname has been injected. Like one more object has been created. For first here property of employee has been injected. Even the object of department has been injected. Even the values and object of department has been injected. Like this, guys, even we can go for constructor reference injection.